Highway to the Tokyo Dome. I'll take you right into the Tokyo Dome. I'm John Renton with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Grand Slam in the Tokyo Dome. Okay, I can't back that up. I actually can't take you inside the Tokyo Dome because I'm nowhere near Japan. I don't have the clearance to get in there, so I apologize. You'll just have to settle for my review where I talk about things I liked and didn't like about the show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So, I want to be perfectly honest, though, and this might be controversial in the beginning, but while this was a very good card overall, with a couple things I didn't like, I just feel that it wasn't dome-worthy. It could have been in, like, an open-air stadium or something. I understand with the, capacity restrictions and the rising cases and stuff like that, the pandemic, running roughshod over Japan, man, I feel so bad for everybody over there. The Olympics are a goddamn dumpster fire, and I know they have the lock on a few venues there. I get it. And I know that the Dome has that prestige, but they just had Wrestle Kingdom, 6.5 months prior, a 2-night event, and they're going to be running the Dome again for Wrestle Kingdom in about 5 months. I don't know, it just seemed like too much in the same year. I think it should be an annual event, and they shouldn't overdo it. Should have ran Jingu Stadium or some other open-air stadium. But anyway, enough complaints about that. There were a couple things I didn't like, and it was pretty much in the beginning of the show. So, Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton on commentary. Whenever there's English commentary, I love it because I love Kevin Kelly. He can, call some great action. Chris Charlton knows so much about the history. Such great stuff. The New Japan Rambo or Rumble, pinfall, submission, over the top rope, or cuff to the ropes. This was a fucking dumpster fire. It was one of the worst matches I've seen this year. And I'm glad everybody got on the card and got a payoff. And I really am glad about that. That was cool, but I'm sorry. This was fucking stupid. It was fucking ridiculous. It was for the KOPW Provisional Championship or whatever the fuck they're calling it and everything. And I understand they're trying to have some fun, but this is a big fucking misfire. There were a bunch of people like, I'll just go through. If you're going to put Chase Owens and the Great O'Khan in the same fucking match, it's like you're trying to get me to fall asleep before the actual fucking show starts. And Yano was defending his championship. It was cool to see Makabe back, and you did get some interactions like Ishii pursuing Dick, because who doesn't want to pursue Dick? To go, if you will. But this was fucking dumb, the handcuff stuff, all that. Like, I wouldn't have minded, like, pinfall, submission, like, over the top rope and stuff like that. And then maybe you get down to the final few and you could do the handcuff. I don't know. It reminded me of that cuffed in the cage thing that Impact Wrestling did for either, the fuck was it? Was it Lockdown 2008? I think it was Lockdown 2008 they did that. And it was bad then. And they didn't have nearly as many people. And they had one fucking ring in a cage and people cuffed. And it was a bad idea. And this was a really bad idea. Chase Owens ends up winning. Great. So pretty much one of the most boring wrestlers that exists in, wrestling today is going to, as opposed to a wrestler that exists in some other form of media, he wins it. And cool. Okay, great. Why am I supposed to care? Why is this happening? Besides getting people to pay off, this was not good. This was not even entertaining. Anyway, and then, but Chase won after throwing powder in Yano's eyes, and then a package pile driver 1, 2, 3. Also, Kenta and Yoshihashi were trying to, help out their buddies and everything, and it was bad. Commentary mentions how Ibushi, he's dealing with some form of pneumonia. I don't remember the exact term. Hopefully Ibushi recovers. His health is top priority, and whenever he comes back is great, but as long as he gets healthy, as long as he can be all right, and, pursue his life, however, and fall on his neck again, because I guarantee that's what he wants to fucking do. But in all seriousness, I hope he recovers. I hope he's back in time, maybe for the shows in August. If not, back in time for the G1, because I believe the G1 does start again in September this year. So, Hiromu runs down the card and says he's coming back. This will be the last time that he's going to be doing the Master Ceremony stuff, the introductions. He's going to challenge the winner of the Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Rocky Romero and Taguchi versus Ishimori and ELP. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Okay, another controversial thing. Get rid of these fucking Junior Heavyweight Championships, or Tag Team Championships, unless you're going to bring in more teams, unless you're going to work with other companies. I mean, even before the restrictions, they didn't have a lot of fucking teams they were working with. There's some history there, and it's like too many championships. I don't know, I understand junior and heavyweight classes, but it just seems like at this point, Jesus Christ, just do something with it and juice things up and have some fun. And maybe drop one of these titles or put it on ice for a bit. I don't know. That's my thoughts. The usual comedy, the Bullet Club antics, is ELP's boot loaded. This was a story they kept, being beat over your head. And this was just about 21 minutes, and it felt like 40. A lot of this dragged. Now, there were some good moments. I did like the double submission spot. I did like how strong Zero got countered, and Ishimori hit a moonsault to the outside. ELP hit a tremendous moonsault, over the barricade onto Rocky and Taguchi, and then, hurt his ankle, and then the boot thing, and then the boot does eventually come off later in the match, and then low blow because of the distraction. CR2, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Ishimori and ELP retain, and life goes on because the Bullet Club, too sweet. That's all I gotta say about Bullet Club. Nothing against a lot of the people involved. It's a t-shirt brand. That's all it fucking is. If you like the Bullet Club, that's fine. Now, Robbie Eagles versus El Desperado, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Hey, Jen, thanks for giving me this. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this trophy. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this thumb. Wait. Anyway, but it was actually pretty damn good because I was curious what they were going to do with this, because Despy, I was really happy that El Desperado won. And, after Hiromu was injured and was taken out for a bit. My only issue with this was the finish. Not because of how they did it, but because of who won. And I'll explain. But there was some really nice knee focus. In fact, it was very submission-based. There was some good high flying. Both these guys did some great mat work, some great psychology, targeting the knee of each. And there was even the Ron Miller special to the ropes. And then kicks. They're all in the ow, my kicks. And then stretch muffler, series of near falls, and turbo backpack for 2. Ron Miller special, and he kept pulling him away from the ropes. And eventually, Despy tapped out. Now, Robbie Eagles is the first ever IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion from, Australia. And that's great. That's a cool moment. I just wanted to see Despy get a longer run. I think running Despy and Hiromu back might have been a better call. Don't get me wrong. Hiromu versus Robbie Eagles would be very, very good. Whenever they decide to do that, they could do that at the next Summer Struggle show. I think they have one on August 10th, if I recall correctly. This in a different venue because they're writing about the next 30,000 events in Corcoran Hall, but there is a rich history there. I'm not sure when the next big Summer Struggle event is. Is it August 10th? Let me know. The schedule all runs together. Got a lot of things going on in my head. And I'm not against it, but I just would like to have seen El Desperado retain. I'm not mad. I'm happy for Robbie Eagles. That's just my take. Jeff Cobb versus Okada. Here we go. Wait, I threw the trophy again. Here, thumbs up. Big one. This good stuff. My only issue is the finish came out of nowhere. But unfortunately, the Great Okan is there because who can't have enough the Great Okan? Fucking hell, that sack of shit. As far as a gimmick. I'm not even saying he's an athlete. He's a good athlete. I don't fucking care about the gimmick. Started slow as expected because it's an Okada match, so it takes him about 18 minutes to warm up. Actually, it takes him about 5. But we get a drop kick from Cobb, sends Okada to the outside, and takes over some power and strikes. Cobb does, that is. And Okada does a flapjack and a DDT. DDT outside, and Okada hurts his back because he's dealing with, I believe, slip discs in his back, and he really should take some time off. But man, he is so goddamn stubborn. That's really stubborn to do. And the catch outside into a delayed vertical by Cobb is beautiful. That was great shit. Cobb had an answer for pretty much everything that Okada had. Okada roars backs, 2 clotheslines. Rainmaker got dodged. We get strikes. We get Dr. Bomb for close 2. And the headbutt. Tour of the Islands got, countered twice. And then that trap pin, the same thing used to be Chris Jericho. Remember when Chris Jericho was only about the size of the Love Boat as opposed to the size of the Titanic that he is now? Yeah, use that to trap him. And his own momentum and gravity kept him down. That's how, and he beat Suzuki in the G1, I believe, like that too. Except Suzuki's better than Jericho is. Anyway, as far as like match quality now. But, Okada won. And I'm not against it. I knew Okada was going to win. It's just, they got to kind of pull the trigger on Cobb. I mean, Cobb is, around, he's going to be 40 next June or July or something like that. He's still got plenty left. He's got a lot left in the tank. He's got, quite a few years that they really could use him. And sure, Okada winning, it builds him up towards the G1. And hopefully Cobb has a good run in the G1. Just felt like Cobb could have gotten this. I'm not surprised he didn't win. That's just my take. Now, Naito and Sonata versus Dangerous Tekkers IWGP Tag Team Championship. If you recall, back 2 weeks ago when I reviewed Summer Struggle in Sapporo, because New Beginning, Sapporo, all that stuff, and all the names are jammed in my head. So if you recall, I praised that match highly, and that match is going to be on my favorite matches of the year list. This is close. Close. I like that one a little bit more, but I like this one as far as storytelling, maybe just a bit. It's a toss-up, actually. This was definitely my favorite match of the evening, even though the main event was quite good, because they took their time. Naito and Sonata got pyro. ZSJ is a joy to watch, and Naito kept focusing on his knee. We got a lot of limb focus from everybody, and there was really good tag work here. Really good tag work. We get Cable choking because Taichi just loves to choke other men and on the camera. I have no idea why. I'm not here to kink shame. And hell, David Carradine, he got roped into that. Anyway, great tag work, lots of knee focus, as I said. Everyone in here, everyone down. And this kept going. This really kept going. I was a little bit surprised that this was just a few seconds longer than the main event, I recall correctly. Or it was like they were very close to each other. Leg vices by both, triangle by ZSJ, stretch by Taichi. Sonata sees that Naito's in trouble and takes the time to moonsault onto Zack Sabre Jr. Why not just kick him and then do the moonsault? But whatever. But Sonata does not care, for he is Sonata and he can just coast. He really can just coast. Black Mephisto, then Destino, then Zack Driver. This kept going as I wrote. I'm not complaining because this one flew by a lot more than the Junior Heavyweight Championship or Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match, and it was almost twice as long. Because this was good. This just had better storytelling to it. And Destino got countered into that beautiful bridge pin that Zack Sabre Jr. does. 1, 2, 3, and the tag titles switch again. My only complaint is they're switching the titles a lot. Because Guerrillas of Destiny had him, and then I believe it was at Dominion that Dangerous Tekkers won. Then they lost him to Naito and Sonata a couple weeks ago at, Summer Struggle in Sapporo, and now they win him again. So, I mean, yes, you free up Naito and Sonata to build up to the G1, and maybe you do a three-way because you have Yoshihashi and Goto come down, and they're part of the Never Openweight six-man champions, and they want something. Well, they're two-thirds of that. Ishii's just there, I would say icing his neck, but Ishii doesn't have a neck. Maybe he was still busy pursuing Dick. Anyway, Dick Togo. I can't help but say that every time, even though it's a joke that's been around since about 1996. So, yeah, the new champions. And maybe we're going to get a three-way at the August 10th Summer Struggle or whenever. I just feel switching the titles, it's getting kind of ridiculous. I'm happy for Dangerous Tekkers. It's a very good match, but it's just odd. Tanahashi versus Shingo. By the way, for the tag titles, big thumbs up. And for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, could have just been the IWGP title, but no, Ibushi had to do that. You had to fuse the titles, and New Japan had to do something dumb. Erase the history. Well, they say, create new history, but as opposed to recreating old history. But they got rid of the lineage of the Intercontinental Championship that had its ups and downs, and now they're just starting anew with the world title. And whatever, that being said, this is good. Could it match what they did at, in January for the Never Openweight Championship? Not quite. Was it good? Yes. I didn't think Tana was going to beat Shingo, though. And that was what spiced that up. There was no chance Tanahashi was going to beat Shingo here. Was it good? Of course. Tana still has it. For a couple years. His knees are shot, though. His knees are really, really shot. Tana does target the knees with dragon screws. Shingo did before this, take over with rest holds. And then we got strikes all around. Ace is high to the floor. Tana's knee is going to just explode one day. And all the paper clips and glue that are holding it together are just going to fly all over the front row. Fortunately, commentary has those shields. And I'm not talking about, what was in Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta shield. I'm not talking about those shields, but I'm just worried about Tana because the spirit is willing. The body is giving up. Because he carried New Japan on his back for many, many years. And still is the ace. He still can pull out a big match. It's just kind of sad to see. But no Shigami and right on the knee. Tana just lands right on his knee. Ouch. Dragon screw off the top. We get a clover leaf. Tana keeps trying to go for it. Dragon screw by Shingo. GTR while Tana's on the barricade. And then Made in Japan for 2. Strikes in the headbutt. Please stop with the headbutts. After Shibata, please. I'm talking about other companies. Not just New Japan, but it is what it is. They're strong. They're strong style, tough and crazy over there. Sling Blade for 2, really close to. Ace is high. Tanagoye. Oh no, I would say Asa Goye, but that doesn't work. And High Fly Flow for 2. Last of the Dragons, but he couldn't cover because he just didn't have the strength. And then another Dragon Suplex for 2. Tana's going for broke, but then gets hit with the Last of the Dragons off the ropes. Last of the Dragons soon after. 1, 2, 3. And Shingo says, "You're great. Let's have a match. We're 1-1." Harkening back to the January match. Shingo won here. They want to run this back. I'm all for it. And then the lights go out. Oh, Evil's on the screen. Evil's got his dick poking out on screen. And Dick Togo's also there. Hi-oh. And I'm next. This kind of stuff. And then, the lights come back on. And shock of shocks, motherfucking Evil's in the ring and lays him out. And, well, that was a flat finish. But Evil's the next challenger. Please have Shingo beat Evil. We do not need to see Evil win the championship. Because last year was a fucking popcorn fart, and this would be even worse because Evil is now even more meaningless. Because Bullet Club itself is pretty fucking meaningless outside of selling merch. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.